Welcome all the King's men to another Friday assessment. Yeah, this is another Friday assessment. And this week, we still talking about assessments. We talking about assessing our week, assessing our progress. This week, we're going to talk about adversity though. Because you know what? I'm sure some of us, my God, if not all of us, face some adversity this week. But what I'm telling you, the reason why I like about the Friday assessment, we're going to tackle our problems head on. As a man, that's what we have to do as a male in this society, in this earth. Long as you are living, breathing, and walking this earth and warm blood running through your body, you are going to have to tackle adversity. And I'm here to tell you that you need to tackle that adversity head on. Why? Because adversity reveals the real you. Yes, adversity actually proves you. Adversity actually pulls the best out of you. It pulls the best you out of you. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's why it's so important to do the Friday assessment. That's why I want to talk about adversity today. Adversity. I got a couple of notes I wrote down here. Adversity. Character is built in adversity. Why? Because the best you comes out. When you're dealing with adversity, you're going to respond by what's inside of you. That's the same thing that if you are a godly man and if you're reading that word and you praying and you putting it on inside of you, whenever adversity comes, what's inside of you is going to come out. So that's why I say character is actually built in the midst of adversity. Why? Because you're like, man, I didn't know I was going to respond that way. Yes, you didn't know it, but you have been studying it the whole time. You have been standing on that thing the whole time. That's why it's so important to assess what you're taking in. Why? Because that's going to dictate your response. And as a man, we must stand up and respond as a man. We're not to run away from our problems. We're not to run away from adversity. We are to stand in the midst of adversity. Allow the best you to come out. Adversity actually also show you your weaknesses. It show you the areas that you're vulnerable in. And in those areas, those are the areas you got to show up, meaning that you got to make sure that you're guarded in those areas. You got to make sure that, you know what, I got my strength that I'm making stronger. And now I know that I got these weaknesses. I got to make sure that my strengths don't expose my weaknesses. I got to make sure not that I'm avoiding my weaknesses, but I'm making sure that my strengths, I'm operating according to my strength and in my strengths, so that when my weaknesses are actually exposed, my actually strengths actually overpower the weakness, and I know how to respond whenever my weakness actually try to come out and overpower. So what I'm telling you is I need you to assess. Don't worry about it. When adversity comes, just look at it. Just look at your response and be like, is this the way I wanted to respond? And if your answer is no, my God, today is your day to say, you know what? No more. Today I stand up and I face adversity and I stare it in the face. Why? Because this is not the character. This is not who God made me to be. Yes, God made you great. God said you can do all things through Christ that strengtheneth you. Yes, you can do all things. Why? Because God put everything inside of you that he need. Why? You was made in his image. You was made in the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost image. That's what it said in the word, in the Bible. It said you were made in their image. That's what the word says. It said, let us make man in our image. Therefore, it is inside of you. The best you is inside of you. So you speak to you. Remember I told you about getting in the mirror. Speak to you. Speak to the best you. I need you to say, you know what? The best you are yet to come forward. So I'm calling you forward. Even in the midst of adversity, I am calling the best me forward. So if you got to fight, fight. That's when you find out who you are. That's when you find out, you know what, I can handle this. I thought I couldn't handle this. But as I take assessment, as I take inventory of what actually happened or what actually took place, this adversity that actually came at me, I thought I couldn't handle it. That's why I'm coming to encourage you today. You got greater inside of you than you ever knew you did. So don't run away from adversity. Next time, take that thing head on. You know how they say, grab the bull by the horns. Take that problem problem by the horn. Say, you know what? This is the problem. Remember, you don't eat the elephant at one time. You take small bites out of it. That's how it is with growth. That's how it is with personal development. That's how it is when you're developing yourself. That's how it is when you're learning who you are. Take it small pieces at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. That's why many of us fail in the midst of adversity. Why? Because we want to think that we're supposed to be perfect. We want to take it on at one time and think that I am going to succeed. No. That's why I say count your wins. We are all successful. We just got to be strategic in the way we do it. So we got what you got to do in this Friday assessment going forward. You got to say, you know what? I got to calculate my small wins. Why? Because even in a war is what? The sum total. But in a war, you got battles. So that's what you got in this life. You got small battles and you got to count every victory so that you can win the war. So when adversity comes, just know that it's one of the battles. Know that greater is inside of you. Knowing the best you is coming out in the midst of adversity. Know that adversity is pulling the best you out of you. So let adversity push you. Let adversity push you to the best you. Let adversity push you into purpose. Let adversity push you into your destiny. So I'm telling you, all the king's men, you are a man of the king. So I'm encouraging you today. Don't run from adversity. Run through adversity. Yeah, I said run through adversity. Count your victories. Be blessed, all the king's men.